On this video, I'm going to show you 10 driving test hacks that you can use on your driving test to make it way easier for you to pass. Make sure you stick around to find out what this can do for you on your driving test as well. This hack makes the reverse bay park way easier than it needs to be. Some of my learners actually say to me, Mark, am I allowed to use this because it's made it so much easier? And the answer is yes. It's not a cheat. You are allowed to use this, and that's using a reference point for your turning point. So when you're doing the reverse bay park, what you want to do is choose the bay that you want to end up in, and then you count 1, 2, 3 lines away from that bay, and then use that third line as the reference point for your turning point. So when that third line is in the middle of your door, you're going to turn your steering wheel all the way to the side that you want to reverse towards, and we'll do a full lock, and that way your car is going to start reversing toward that third line. And then once it's straight, you just straighten up and then you finish off. Now this next hack can save you a lot of stress. So let's say you're on a roundabout and you're not sure where you're going. A lot of people don't realize you can actually ask the examiner this kind of question. Don't just sit there quiet and confused and not knowing where you're going, because once you get on the roundabout, it makes it really difficult to deal with if you don't know where you're going. The easy way to deal with this is just once you get there, let's say you're kind of like 80% sure, 90% sure, just ask the examiner and say, excuse me, is it that exit over there? Point it out so that you can, show where it is, and then they can confirm with you that it's that exit, or they can say to you, no, it's not that one, it's the one over there. That way, you know where you're going. It makes it a lot easier. Make sure you do this before you get onto the roundabout though. If you do it on the roundabout, that's too late. They're not going to say anything to you, but then it's too late. You're going to probably miss your exit. But missing your exit is not such a big deal, which leads me to my next tip, which is if you miss your exit, let's say you're on a large roundabout and you've been asked to take, I don't know, the third exit to the right, and then you've gone round, but then you've missed your exit or you're not sure where you're going anymore. Don't panic on this situation. What you can do is keep your signal on to the right, go all the way around again, and then come off on the correct exit. You're allowed to do this. You're not going to get any faults if you do this. The main thing on your driving test, remember, is about safety. If you can go around safely again and then come off smoothly, this shows the examiner that you're prepared, you know what you're doing. You may have got lost a little bit, but you're still a safe driver. Now, when you start your driving test, you will be asked sometimes to open the bonnet. And if you're not familiar with the car, or if you haven't practiced it that much with the instructor, this can be very stressful. Most people don't realize this, but this is the one thing that your instructor can actually help you with. So let's say you're really struggling to open the bonnet and your instructor is still around. Hopefully he hasn't gone away, or she hasn't gone away somewhere. You can actually ask them to help you open the bonnet, and they can show you how to open it. Now, a lot of my learners that I've taught struggle with left and right. Now, this technique, one of my learners showed me, which works really well. She used to squeeze her hands. So once I've told her to turn left or turn right, she knows which hand is left and right. So she would squeeze the steering wheel, the left and then right, and then she'll know, okay, this side is the left and then that side is the right. You have to remember, when you've been told to turn left or right, you've got plenty of time to, think about where you're going, check your mirrors and signal. So it's not a thing you have to make a snap decision and then signal to the right and go to the right. If you have been told to turn left, you have time to think, okay, which way is left? Squeeze my hand. Okay, that way is left. And then you can check your mirrors, signal left, and do your thing. If you're really struggling with it, I've seen people even write L and R on their hands, just to help them while they're driving. They can have a quick look. Let's say the examiner's told you to turn left, turn right. You can have a quick look. Okay, this way is left, mirror, signal, and then go to the left. Or if they've told you to turn right, you look at your hands, or that one says right, mirror, signal, and then turn right. So that's, another hack you can use. If you don't have a problem with this, you might be thinking, what? Who doesn't know the left and right? But trust me, it affects a lot of people. So this is a hack that might help. And if you know someone that struggles with this, share this with them so that they can know what to do on the test. The driving test can be stressful enough as it is, but there are things you can do to help yourself out. There are lots of stress relief techniques you could use, but one of the simplest ones is just, taking a break. So lots of people don't realize you can actually do this. If you're feeling super stressed out, and let's say you're on a driving test and something's happened that thrown you off your game a little bit, what you can do is just ask the examiner, excuse me, do you mind if we pull up somewhere safe, and then I want to take a little breather. Most of them will say yes, because they'll rather you just calm down and be safe than drive in a stressed state. Obviously, you're not going to be there for super long. Just a couple of minutes, or even a minute or a few seconds can be more than enough sometimes, just to kind of calm your nerves down and take a breath and get back on your game, and then go and smash the test. Now, the parallel park gives people nightmares sometimes. What people don't realize is if you go on the curb a little bit, or if you touch the curb, it's not always going to be a fail. I've heard so many stories of people going on the curb a little bit, or touching the curb, and then giving up because they thought, oh my God, my friend told me that if you touch the curb, it means you failed. This is not the case, guys. If you go on the curb a little bit with your wheels, just go forward and correct it. You are going to get a fault for this, a minor fault, but at least you're not going to get a serious fault for leaving it on the curb. And talking of parking, this is something that some of my learners struggle with, which is making sure the car is straight when you finish parking. If you look at this mirror here, you can see the car and the curb are making a V shape. This means that it's not straight with the curb. To make it straight, you want to see two horizontal lines, the one with the car and the one with the curb. Once you see that, it means that the car is straight along the curb. Now this one is a way to tell when to go when there's a car coming towards you and you want to turn in front of them. A simple way to deal with this is think about yourself as a pedestrian. So you ask yourself while you're waiting there to turn, if I was here walking, would I walk across? And if the answer is no, then you should stay still and don't drive across. If the answer is yes, I would walk across with that car coming because it's far away, then that means you've got enough time to check a mirror and then make that turn. This is called walk across, drive across. And then we've got this one here, guys, this magic fruit. So I've had so many people say the same thing to me about this fruit here when it comes to stress relief. A lot of people that go for the test are anxious, stressed for obvious reasons, but apparently if you have a banana before your test, it actually calms you down and it makes you a bit more relaxed. Apparently there's science behind this. So before you have your test, if you're feeling a bit anxious, have a banana and that should calm you down and hopefully you have a stress-free test. But if that doesn't work, just remember some of the other tips I told you guys. So those were some hacks for you to try on your driving test. If you got any other tips for us, any other hacks, leave them in the comments below. We'd love to hear some and maybe I might feature them in the next video. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this, guys. Make sure you subscribe for more and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.